Items, där har vi pinnen. 41 free sailboats. 3,20. Not bad, not bad. Hur mycket pengar har vi? Vart ser vi det någonstans? Ja... You have no idea where you are. Lena encourages you to ask others to explain the world to your great detail. Map står här. Map if, acquire a copy of the city map. Okay, this is found white check. Okay, vi måste hitta en city map. Nej, why? Vi ska se, vi ska hela vägen bort. Dit. Ace is high, ace is low. Status 28%. Okej, just det här. Inexplicable feminist agenda. Something stirs and something... Okej, där har vi gjort då. Solution. Hobo cop. A cop and a hobo. A hobo cop. Upsides can be disheveled, doesn't have to wash, carries himself with a lurch gusto. Hobo cop doesn't need anyone or anything. No one can kick you out because you don't have a home. Never pay rent again. Never again here. You're drunk. Why did you even come here, Harry? Go home. You're embarrassing yourself. Downsides. Are there any? I mean, seriously, give me one. Sorry. Downsides. Are there any? I mean, seriously, give me one.
That sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already?
How long have I been up already? It's drink o'clock!
Attaboy. It's coming back to him. You had your mesolimbic reward pathway worried there. Not thinking about drinking all that time. It was like you weren't yourself.
I've been secretly thinking about it all this time. Actually, should I be thinking about this? Looks like drinking has to turn out... No. Now that you mention it, I do need a rum and a lemonade. A love for karta to sum me up.
Forget about the bar. Or don't forget about it. You should totally try to get a drink there too. But first, you should lick that stain off the counter. Yeah, man. Let's get wild. Lick it.
Lick it!
Calmly, the lieutenant looks out of the window. Then to you, licking the tasty rum stain off the counter. Then out of the window again.
Tänk dig kommer en kollega, poliskollega. Vilket tålamod han har med mig. Det fyllo liksom.
What are you doing?
He asked without turning his eyes from the street outside. Investigating! I'm an alcoholic. I need to get my hit. Sorry, I drift off to tomorrow. Investigating.
We should move.
A real drink would go well with those cigarettes.
Find booze and drink it.
That's a great combination.
Vi ska hitta alltså alkohol och drickat också. Nice. Jag ligger och snarkar. Kan vi prata med honom nu?
Yes?
Tell me about the case. I think you should know I want to talk about. You seem to be following me. Yes, vi fick en autosave förut här. Vi springer ut. Kontrollen i det här spelet är väl lite sådär. Kanske kunde ha varit gjort det lite smidigare för konsol. Men ja, nu är vi ute i kylan här då. Och vi har ju ännu ingen karta. Men vi börjar kolla den här soptunnan igen. The spot inside, you could pick them up if you had a bag. Okej. Vi ska inte sparka på någonting. Vi ska se till att få hälsa. Vi kollar. This book has a rose, a pistol and a half-naked dame on its cover. Okay. The books appear to be erotic but without actual erotica. Okay. On the cover stands a very muscular man surrounded by flames. This poem, a man from Hjelmdal and a wildfire. Crime, romance, biographies of famous people. This book is about a partier. A book about future the government reads your mind using radio technology. Det var ju det jag sa till tanten där inne, ja. Eller? Vi hade det som alternativ i alla fall. A book about Bojero culture, a prominent freedom of Roma, whatever. This book, you don't really understand what it's about. It takes willpower to read the author's name, Jan Kaas from Iguania. Iguania? Okay, let's talk to the boy here.
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open.
A young girl with chubby red cheeks waves at you, smiling. Her nose is also red from the cold. I am the law!
I know, sir.
She stumps her feet to feel warmer.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
What kind of store is this anyway? Is it okay if I ask some?
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold your horses, little
What is that? What is a book? What is a postcard? What is a board game?
That is a book. They have stories inside them. It's like someone told you a story in a really long letter.
Okej, tack. Det var bra beskrivet om en
A
bok här.
postcard is a small cardboard picture. You can write a few words on the other side and send it to your friend or beloved.
She is unfazed by your questions. She would consider it impolite to point out any perceived weirdness.
Hon uppfostrar alltså.
Board games are like little games on a table, made to pass the time. There are several different ones, but sailors here mostly buy cards. My pleasure. Anything
5
else
XP.
you'd like to know?
Se.
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store.
Sluta snöa
She's
precis.
inside minding the register or organizing the stock.
The girl gazed at the window, then suddenly rolls her eyes wide as if recalling something.
Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signaling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They miss out on the crime, romance, and...
Yeah.
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters.
She
She covers her face, smiling.
But she's cold.
But she's cold.
She's so cold. Can I help you? You're cold. Can I help you in some way? I should have a word with the store owner maybe. Such a good trooper you are, already learning the value of hard work. I could help, but brutally dismantling the free market.
Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store.
You shouldn't be at school or something?
I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running.
Isn't going to school more important than this? School is stupid. You're lucky not to be there.
Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed. Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed.
Behind her, the window has been boarded up. You sense the boards creaking, twisting for a second, and some kind of doubt in her tense shoulders.
Cursed in what way?
Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go...
Ass up!
I wouldn't really say it like that, but I guess so.
I don't think curses are real. They should rather, sounds rather, they should probably look into this. Now, narrow your eyes and look through the creaking boards on the window.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into here.
The lieutenant makes a note in his notebook.
Yes, please do look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games you asked about are also there, sir.
What do you know about the other's fate? How does this curse manifest itself? Stroke your chin. Enough about curses for now.
It does not manifest itself in any way.
Kom
It
inte
does
in
not
här, Kim.
exist. I liked it better when we were talking about whether it's appropriate to stand out in the freezing weather.
But Kim, the plasmic manifest... fine, I'll show you.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar. I don't really know what's there.
Alltså, det är så jävla skönt. Alltså, dialogerna är ju roliga i det här spelet. Så vi kommer ju slita oss igenom alla dialoger. Stroke.
Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals.
Okay. Wait, not crime fiction? I need to know what crime is. Why would anyone want to read about crime? Crime, murder gets people going. Is that bad? Point.
Crime is a deviation from the law, punishable by either a civil or criminal sentencing. It's what the law prevents.
Why would anyone want to read about crime?
It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him.
I'm a policeman myself, by the way. The law, as I said.
You don't look much like a policeman.
Nej, jag står i bara överkropp. To examine you has to find something a policeman like. Jag står i bara överkropp med en sko. Det är ju skönt som helst. Well, what does a cop? I'm not a policeman, or should I stop here? No.
Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
She points to a book cover on which you see a strapping Vespertine officer. He stands grimly over a body of a dead woman. I used to be exactly like that Mullen guy. Then I decided to live a little. You know, nobody actually looks like the guy in the picture. It's just tråkigt. It's not your body that's important in police work anyway. It's your point to your head. Well, look at the guy. I'll never be as good as Mullen. I'll live a little.
What's that mean?
You know, cut loose, raise hell, blow off steam.
And everything's better now, sir?
Yes!
That's great, sir.
You know, nobody actually looks like
She looks at Dick Mullen,
frowning,
dark, arrogant, violent, likely overcompensating for something.
Mm-hmm.
He isn't even drawn right.
No, he isn't even drawn right. This is not a human. Shoulders work, the perspective is all on. Probably got a violent streak because it...
She examines the picture, trying to find whatever is wrong with it. She then shrugs and puts the book aside, unconvinced.
That's just no way to cop. I can do it way better than Dick Mullen.
Sure you can, sir.
5
He's just a
XP!
fictional
Nice!
character. He'll be no match for you. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. Like in the books.
The cover image of Dick Mullen seems to stare with your harsh disappointment. Oh. Composer channel. Okay, I'm going to do something now. Vi har ju sån dålig composer score. What is romance? Vi fortsätter.
It's a type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man.
She smiles at the thought, perhaps imagining herself in the
Or
situation.
there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir.
What's about the poor man getting rich lady? What's about when both men are bad? What about everyone is poor? What about book where the man and lady business doesn't work out at all? Okay, vi börjar högst upp då.
It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something.
Uh-huh.
Those are unhappy books for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end.
What about poor man getting rich lady? Vänta, what about when both men are bad?
These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that.
What if it's written really well?
Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Sometimes you have to write about real things. Yeah, poor people are boring!
I guess, yes. People in books are always very interesting, especially the romance people.
What about the books where the man and lady business doesn't work at all?
I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum.
And what about extrusion? Maybe I will.
I'm sure she can help out. Anything else you're curious
Nej, nu
about?
blev vi av med det alternativet där. Och, eller nej, vänta.
Maybe some about other books?
Famous
Oh,
people.
kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them.
She scratches herself cold, red on her cheek, then
I think
continues.
that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Reading though doesn't make the readers more famous. That's it, right. I had a different character.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Yeah. Fame sounds delicious. Maybe someone will write a book about me one day. Fame is for vain people. I have a better thing. These famous people sound like a bunch of dorks.
Why would they do that, sir?
Because I'll be a superstar cop in the papers and everything. That show up. What use am I?
You're not that old. Maybe you'll do something really important. Something that wows the world.
You think so?
Yes, there's hope. A lot of famous people got
Hon är
fame
så
late,
snäll.
or even after they've died.
Hon är så väluppfostrad.
You're certainly the type who might find fame posthumously. Who knows? You might even get famous for the manner of your death.
That sounds like a nice story to tell yourself at night. Maybe fame isn't that important. Some can get noticed, others can't get properly forgotten. That's like, but what if I get famous only for dying?
I don't think you should live life with that fear. Just try to be the best you can.
Okej. 1 plus Charles is cold, afraid of the curse. Vi prövar. Jag tror det står ju low, men vi prövar. Jag hoppas jag inte dör.
You fail to deduce anything substantial.
Attans.
She waits intently.
I'm a detective. I deduce that you are a girl. I'm a detective. I deduce that you were a small... Actually, I'm...
Come on, anyone would notice that.
Put skill points in composure to open a white check. Okay. Hur kan vi... Där, nu. Ja. Nej. Vi ska gå in här. Biblioteket. Eller vad var det? Bokhandeln. Där står det. Sura morsan. Ska vi börja här nere. Här var det. Gift books and molten candy.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover.
Vad heter han?
Nearly all the
Arnold
titles
och
contain
Conan.
the word Heimdall somewhere.
Storekeeper, tell me about the Muscleman books. Look through the display of books.
Oh, Man from Heimdall.
Shit, vad så
A very
gott.
popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books.
Why are they so
Blood
popular?
and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do.
What? Sounds good. Which one should I start with? That doesn't sound like something.
What does it matter? They're all the same.
All the same.
However, the customer is always right, they say.
No.
If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Heimdallaman, the man from Heimdall. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
Tell me, vänta. I want to buy the Heimdall book. Kostar 9 rubel.
Rows and rows of Heimdallamen blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Heimdall and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Heimdall, Return to Heimdall. And the solipsistic Man from Heimdall and the Heimdall Man.
Good God, I'm an order.
Maybe 100.
What?
Man from Heimdall and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Heimdall and the false god. Man from Heimdall and the scorched earth. Man from Heimdall,
Vi ska lyssna på alla.
the Heimdall colonies. Man from Heimdall and the swamp Beast, Man from Heimdall, and the Snow Crabs.
Snow crabs.
Not even close. Man from Heimdall in Hell. Man from Heimdall
Medium.
and the Forest of Slaves. Man from Heimdall.
Vänta, okej, nu ska vi se. Okej, vi ska inte köpa, vi har inga pengar då. Pain threshold medium 10. Do any of the books calls out to me? Ja, vi prövar. 42%.
Set in the world of nothing of interest. Only silence and the cosmic background pain radiation.
Ja, liv. Oj, tråkigt. Old sportsman tucked away in a dark corner. The books collect the national recipe of Arda, all about lake trout. Vi pratade med henne sist.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise.
What board games do you have here?
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinder, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Raubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Ska jag spela med
Who are
barn?
you going to play board games with? Do you have friends or family?
Wow, I have children, a family. Do I have friends? Look at the lieutenant.
Are you actually friends? Or just colleagues thrown together by circumstance?
Look at me. Who'd want to have children with me? I don't feel as I have any kids. Kids, friends, chicks, I have all of... No.
Don't be so hard on yourself, sir. You just need to clean up a bit. And technically, friends are a bit like family.
She fiddles her pet. Kolla, hon är... hon är exceptionellt tänd på mig.
For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real.
Storekeeper, what all about? Vi har inte råd. Kostar 12 spänn.
Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them though.
She looks at the table crossing her arm. Look through the pile of viral-related items.
An endless variety of source books, law books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, Second Edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag.
Bara kolla en grej här, så. Celebrate good times, come on.
Books in a board game section? Who wants to read books?
Who wants to read book? Anything that really catch him, anything that's really
There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition mega setting supplement
What?
module. The side panel notes, a fantastic adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real.
Okay, drapers.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Men jag ska ju stjäla, tänkte jag. Jag ska försöka gå bak och stjäla hennes pengar. Shopkeeper, what's behind the curtains? Examine the strange cage. Pull up the curtains.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't
Fr-
you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books.
She's a witch!
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. This is a traditional Seminese ward, meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. Inhabitants of Elysium, the Seminine Islands down south. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time.
Pull up the curtains.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand has closed around her pendant and her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Psychologically speaking, we're dumb if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
Fan, jag kommer ju dö här i sånt
She
fall.
looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
This is about the curse. This is why you're afraid. Ma'am, this is a different... I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. But I sense this place calling for me. I must be invested beyond the threshold. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them. Okay.
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hands flies over the mouth, baffled by her bluntness.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there.
But I sense...
can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
The powers, but I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold.
You do? My God. Even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Let's just talk...
What are you? A coward? Think about the marvelous adventures waiting for us on the other side.
Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful.
Okay.
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Vi bara ta lite tranquilo här. Tranquilo. Mañana. Vi kollar klart allting eftersom det är någonting spännande med de där gardinerna eller vad man ska säga. Very colorful. Another boring book just discarded here.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Look through the shelf.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, and balance. These three things are very important to the working class mind. The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note, when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
That's the book.
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder, preservatives, to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre- and post-factum apply. Nothing worth buying. This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
Ja, det vet vi inte. Inland... Okej, vi kör den då.
The throbbing in your head
Dubbelsex också.
every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale. The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted. The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies.
Bara jag får mer hälsa så är det glömt.
Also known as le territoire. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale.
Invigorating.
It is, and good for the circulation too.
What
It
else?
also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
And what does this pale aged liquor do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
To perfect health! I should probably get my hands on some of that. What else is in there?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the pale. Though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour.
Inte mer än en timme.
These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude. Nudity figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions. This is exactly what you need.
This is exactly what I need. Anything else to note?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
Well, I don't need that. I probably need that.
Excuse me, sir. I believe you've been perusing that particular volume long enough.
What?
If you'd like to continue reading, I must insist you buy it. Sir,
Huh.
please.
Hon sa likadant som mig.
That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no.
Det var det autosave. Var det där vi var, va, eller?
This bookstore is not strictly. Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins.
Kan vi sno en
The
karta?
board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The
Nu är det lite
largest
segt.
in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another, far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white, disintegrating into mathematics. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore.
It's you.
It's you.
Can you see cities on the island?
You can on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas.
Okay.
Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark. 850 million people live on these little dots.
Det här var
An
ju
oceanic world of culture and
väldigt
commerce
segt just
torn
nu.
apart by history. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is
Hoppas
the
inte han säger
northeast
samma
azimuth.
sak om alla kartor.
Samara is the east azimuth. Seo is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds. Words past the Incelindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods.
Somnar jag snart här.
Looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of
to
the east, rolling hills. Hudon, it's somewhere to... You feel you're just west of Coal City. It's not really. Still, it's detailed.
Okay.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps.
The place does not look like a successful tourist trap, does it?
They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Steal it instead. 17%. Det här känns ju också som en grej om jag misslyckas att jag säkert kan bli av med min hälsa där. Så att jag har inte ens 90 cent så det är bara